Okay, so I think we are live.
Yeah,
Okay, let me just check the streams on YouTube and other pages. Yep,
I
so
think
we are live.
yeah it went on YouTube I guess, लेकिन जो इवेंट था उस पे नहीं गई है हो
उसमें
एरर
नहीं
आ
गया
रहा
वो,
है
आई
मुझे
थिंक
लग रहा है।
एरर आ रहा था। यस 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 यस।
चलो, इट्स फाइन।
हाँ, आई थिंक ओनली यूट्यूब इज फाइन।
Yeah,
ओके।
so we are still waiting for audience to join in, like
Yeah, I think let's wait for more people to join in and then we can continue. Okay, we have just one viewer right now, two people. Okay.
okay. कहाँ चले गए हैं लोग आज?
That's what I'm thinking right now. Come on, guys. YouTube आप लोगों का अपना है. Okay. Let's see the check-ins. Mm-hmm. वालेकुम अस्सलाम. लर्न विद मोहम्मद. कैसे हैं आप? यार आज का सेशन बड़ा क्रूशियल है अहमद, लेकिन पता नहीं लोग क्यों जानबूझ के मिस करना चाह रहे हैं.
लोग बोर ज़्यादा ही हो रहे हैं आई गेस के, लाइक बिल्कुल रमज़ान में बिजी हैं, या फिर इतना बोर हो गए हैं कि वो अब कह रहे हैं कि यार कुछ भी नहीं करना, हमने जस्ट लेटे रहना है।
ये बात है वैसे. तरावी से आके ना लोग
हम्म,
ऐसे भी थके हुए कहते हैं यार क्या. लेकिन वैसे स्क्रोलिंग करते रहते हैं तो यार यहाँ पे आ जाए तो आई थिंक काफी कुछ सीख लेंगे.
इवन इफ्तार के बाद लोग इतना भर के पेट अपना और ऐसे लेट जाते हैं कि यार बस अब लेट के स्क्रोलिंग ही करनी है और कुछ काम नहीं करना।
असल में देखो उसमें एक रीजन ये भी है ना कि रमजान है और अभी गर्मी थोड़ी ज्यादा हो गई है लास्ट रोजों में, तो अब
हाँ
लोगों को
हाँ,
पता चल रहा है कि रमजान है.
ऐसे ही है।
ग्रेट ग्रेट. ओके, सो ऐसा ऐसा लोग आ रहे हैं. दैट्स नाइस. दैट्स नाइस.
हम्म, अच्छा, ये पाकिस्तानियों का एक वो भी है ना कि अक्सर इवेंट्स पे मैंने देखा है ये कि जो भी इवेंट होगा ना, चाहे फिजिकल ऑन साइट ही क्यों नहीं हो रहा, लाइक अगर फॉर एग्जाम्पल 10 बजे का टाइम है सुबह और लोग 10 बजे नहीं आएंगे 11 बजे आ रहे होंगे, 12 बजे आ रहे
ये
होंगे।
ऑनलाइन में भी है मसला. उसामा पूछ रहे हैं कि जी नो अटेंडीज अभी आ रहे हैं ऐसा ऐसा करके. यार आप
हाँ,
क्यों
आपका
भगाना
ही
चाह
वेट
रहे
हो
हैं
रहा
हमारे
था
ऑडियंस
उसामा।
को? ओके.
नहीं, वैसे इस चीज़ को थोड़ा सा डिस्कस करना चाहिए कि लाइक कोई भी टाइम है, कोई भी इवेंट का टाइम है, व्हाई देयर इज लाइक दिस लेट थिंग हैपनिंग, लाइक अगर कहीं बाहर का इवेंट हो के या कोई ऑनलाइन ही हो, इवन लाइक द ऑडियंस इज फ्रॉम मे बी यूरोप, ऑडियंस इज फ्रॉम यू नो ईस्ट एशिया, वो बहुत जल्दी ज्वाइन करते हैं, लाइक दे आर लाइक ईगर टू यू नो या फिर वो ज़्यादा ही वक्त के पाबंद हैं।
दैट्स ट्रू. दैट्स ट्रू. वेरी ट्रू. आई डोंट नो पाकिस्तान में व्हाई इज इट द कल्चर लाइक दिस कि अगर आपका इवेंट है फॉर एग्जांपल तो अगर वो 9 बजे स्टार्ट होना है तो पीपल थिंक यार ये 12 बजे स्टार्ट होगा. टाइम 9 बजे का दिया, दैट विल स्टार्ट अराउंड 12 बजे. सो वो कॉन्सेप्ट इस तरह
ऐसे ही
बन गया,
जाता।
लेकिन आई डोंट थिंक ऐसा नहीं है. लाइक लोग भी आपका ही वेट कर रहे होते हैं. लाइक हम लोग भी आपका ही वेट करते हैं कि आप लोग आएंगे तो हम स्टार्ट करेंगे.
हम्म। So, by the way, and before we let our speaker in, I think जो भी हमारे ऑडियंस है अभी थोड़ी सी, let's just talk about के किस तरह के इवेंट्स उन्होंने अटेंड किए हैं पास्ट में, एंड व्हाट दे आर लुकिंग फॉर इन द फ्यूचर, कि किस तरह के इवेंट्स होने चाहिए ऑनलाइन उनके सिटी में, किस किस सिटी से हैं, बल्कि यार अभी 6-7 लोग जो आए हैं, लाइक लेट्स जस्ट आस्क देम कि किस किस सिटी से हैं कौन, लेट्स जस्ट कमेंट इन द चैट कि आप किस सिटी से ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं इस टाइम पे।
हाँ, आई वुड लव टू सी के लोग कहाँ से हैं, कहाँ से हमें ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं, एंड व्हाट डू दे एक्सपेक्ट फ्रॉम अस, व्हाट डू दे वांट टू लर्न एज वेल। ओके।
Okay, Osama is from Lahore and he is asking, can you share what are the main things to be discussed in today's session? So Osama will be discussing about different WTM chapters और उनके जो events हो रहे हैं और क्या हो चुके हैं पहले से, वो क्या कुछ कर रहे हैं, and how they are empowering the women community in their city और जो भी उनकी local community है उसमें। We have people from Karachi joining in. We have someone from Atak.
Yeah, that's very nice
Okay.
to see people from Atak as well, Karachi.
And Muhammad Ali is from Moro. So
Where
that's
is this
good.
Moro?
It's in Sindh.
Okay, I just heard the name for the first time. Nice. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, अभी अगर स्वैग्स का बता देना, ऐसे लोग भागे भागे आएंगे ना यार, पता नहीं कौन सी डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन हो रही है प्राइस।
Should we start with our event? We should wait a bit more. Like it's been 10 minutes. फिर
Yeah, I
जैसे
think
जैसे
it's
लोग
been
ज्वाइन करते
10.
जाएंगे और लाइक उस तरीके से इवेंट चलता जाएगा।
I think we should move on. We
हम्म।
should start. लोग ऐसा ऐसा करके ज्वाइन करेंगे। आई थिंक रमज़ान भी है तो दैट्स वाई थोड़ा सा वो है, बट आई थिंक पीपल विल स्टार्ट साथ साथ।
Sure. I think let's introduce our speakers. हमें कौन कहाँ कहाँ से ज्वाइन किया हुआ है, सो वी हैव WTM एम्बेसडर वुमेन टेक मेकर्स जो हैं, दे आर ज्वाइंड अस फ्रॉम लाहौर, इस्लामाबाद, कराची, हैदराबाद, सो वी हैव मल्टीपल एम्बेसडर्स joining us today and they will be talking about their community। उन्होंने क्या पहले इवेंट किस तरह से करवाए, किस तरह से कम्युनिटी बिल्डअप हुई, एंड क्या उसका इम्पैक्ट था उनके जो इवेंट्स हो रहे थे और जो सारा कुछ कम्युनिटी में बिल्डअप हो रहा था, एंड what you can expect in the future as well। So let's get started from our first event which happened in March on in International Women's Day। It was in Hyderabad and Rubina Mirbahar was recently selected as a WTM ambassador। So I think we should add her to the stream।
Yeah, I think let's add Rubina to the stream.
Hello Rubina,
Assalamualaikum.
how are you?
Thank you.
Hello, Rubina.
Thank you.
So, how's been your community in Hyderabad? Like, let's just chit chat about your community, and then we'll, actually move towards presentation.
Yes. So it was my first event in Hyderabad because मैं
Mm-hmm.
फर्स्ट एम्बेसडर हूँ हैदराबाद से एज अ कम्युनिटी। दूसरी कम्युनिटीज़ में भी मैं हूँ एज AWS में कम्युनिटी बिल्डर, बट फर्स्ट टाइम हैदराबाद में ये इवेंट हुआ था जो कि 8 मार्च पे हमने करवाया था वुमेन टेक मेकर्स के नाम से। इट वाज ग्रेट और इसका जो फीडबैक भी हमें बहुत अच्छा मिला। फर्स्ट इवेंट था, लोग हेजिटेट भी थे। द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन वाज सबका यही था, स्पेशली बॉयज़, क्या हम इस इवेंट को ज्वाइन कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि इसका नाम
Mm-hmm.
इंटरनेशनल वुमेंस डे के नाम से था, तो हर कोई हेजिटेट हो रहा था कि क्या हम इससे ज्वाइन कर सकते हैं। जब हमने एडवर्टाइज़ किया तो पहला क्वेश्चन लोगों का यही था, क्योंकि फर्स्ट एवर इवेंट था हैदराबाद से इस टाइप का। तो ओवरऑल
Mm-hmm.
एक्सपीरियंस वाज ग्रेट और लोगों का काफ़ी सारा पॉजिटिव रिव्यूज़ भी मिले और आगे हमें कोलैबोरेशन के लिए भी बहुत सारी कॉल्स आई, पार्टनरशिप के लिए कॉल्स आई। और इंशाल्लाह हम इसको कंटिन्यू भी करेंगे आगे जाके, जो कि मैं आगे भी बताऊंगी कि किस तरह से हम आगे लाइव सेशंस करेंगे, बूट कैंप्स अरेंज करेंगे, तो इस तरह से।
Yeah, awesome. I also remember like our meetup, like DevFest meetup जो हमने करवाया था
जी जी।
हैदराबाद में, and you were there, और ऑडियंस
हम्म,
लाइक उनकी जो रिस्पॉन्स था, लाइक ऑडियंस जिस तरीके से आई थी, लाइक और जितनी डाइवर्स, लाइक वी वर, हम एक्सपेक्ट नहीं कर रहे थे कि ना लाइक फीमेल और मेल रेशो काफ़ी ज़्यादा होगी, सो इट वाज ऑसम,
नहीं,
लाइक
डेव
हमारा
फेस्ट का
एक्सपीरियंस भी
तो
बड़ा अच्छा
लोगों
था।
का आइडिया था, क्योंकि
हम्म।
कराची में मोस्टली लोग यहाँ से जाते हैं हैदराबाद से। वुमेन टेक मेकर्स का फर्स्ट टाइम एक्सपीरियंस था, तो किसी को आइडिया नहीं था कि इसमें सिर्फ गर्ल्स ही आएंगी, क्योंकि डाइवर्सिटी
हम्म।
तो है, लेकिन स्पेशली वुमेन्स के नाम से था, तो काफ़ी लोग हेजिटेट हो रहे थे कि क्या हम ज्वाइन करें कि नहीं करें, क्या स्पेशली वुमेन को ही इंकरेज करके या फिर ओवरऑल जेंडर्स को भी इंकरेज किया जाएगा। तो दैट्स इट। यस।
Yeah. So I will also like to ask about your community journey. Like you were recently, awarded Cloud Innovative Champions, and उसके अलावा आप AWS में थोड़ा सा इन है, और उसके अलावा बाकी communities में भी इन है. So
जी जी।
आपका जर्नी थोड़ा सा उसके बारे में let the audience know.
वेल, मैं क्लाउड आर्किटेक्ट रिमोटली काम कर रही हूँ विथ यूएस बेस्ड कंपनी से। सो जो कम्युनिटी का स्टार्टअप था, मैंने स्टार्ट किया था कोविड-19 से, क्योंकि मुझे पहले कोई आइडिया नहीं था कि ये कम्युनिटीज़ भी एग्जिस्ट करती हैं इस दुनिया में। तो जब मैं क्लाउड की जॉब सर्च कर रही थी, तब मुझे ये कम्युनिटीज़ का कुछ आइडिया हुआ, पहले एडब्ल्यूएस की। तो काफ़ी दफ़ा मैंने उसमें अप्लाई भी किया, बिल्ड भी की कम्युनिटी हैदराबाद में। ऐसा ऐसा ख़ास कोई रिस्पॉन्स नहीं आया ऑडियंस की तरफ से, क्योंकि फ़र्स्ट
हम्म।
टाइम यहाँ पे कम्युनिटीज़ इस तरह से बिल्ड करना थोड़ा सा डिफ़िकल्ट है। मोस्टली लोग कहते हैं कि कराची, लाहौर या हैदराबाद और इस्लामाबाद, बाकी हैदराबाद में
हम्म।
इस सच ऐसा कोई रिस्पॉन्स नहीं मिलता। तो आहिस्ता आहिस्ता से जब मैंने इस पे काम करना स्टार्ट किया, तो काफ़ी अच्छा रिस्पॉन्स भी मिला। AWS की तरफ से फिर मूव हुई मैं यहाँ पे वुमेन टेक मेकर्स की तरफ, ताकि मैं स्पेशली, मेरा जो मोटिव है, मेरी अपनी एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है शी क्लाउड के नाम से, जहाँ पे मैं गर्ल्स को ट्रेनिंग देती हूँ क्लाउड टेक्नोलॉजीज पे, एंड एजोर, ऑन गूगल एंड AWS। तो मेरा फोकस वुमेन को एम्पावर करना है क्लाउड टेक्नोलॉजीज पे। तो मेरा फोकस यही था कि मैं गर्ल्स को स्पेशली इन हैदराबाद सेक्टर को ट्रेन करूं, और उनको नो हाउ हो क्लाउड टेक्नोलॉजी पे किस तरह से आगे वो बढ़ सकती हैं इस फील्ड में। तो इस तरह से ही स्टार्टअप हुआ सारी कम्युनिटी से।
Yeah, awesome. So I think let's move towards your, preview जो highlights हैं आपकी, like WTM event जो आपने करवाया, and
जी
what you
जी।
are, focusing on the future. तो उस तरीके से जो आप कर रही हैं, let's talk about that. I think we'll give the stage to you, and you may continue your presentation. Yeah.
थैंक यू। इसको फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, जो हमने इवेंट 8 मार्च पे ऑर्गेनाइज करवाया था, उसके कुछ हाइलाइट्स, और हम आपको कुछ दिखाएंगे कि किस तरह से हमने अरेंज किया, उसमें किस तरह से स्वैग्स, और काफ़ी जो हमने वेल नोन वुमेन जो हैं काम कर रही हैं हैदराबाद में, PhD हैक अप्रूव प्रोफेसर्स, उनको इनवाइट किया था। काफ़ी सारे ऑडियंस से हमें अच्छा रिस्पांस भी मिला। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट विथ आवर फर्स्ट हाईलाइट, जो कि दिस वन। आपके साथ ही मिलके हम एक छोटी सी वीडियो देखेंगे, जो कि ओवरऑल हाइलाइट्स, एंड यू कैन से दैट पूरा एक्सपीरियंस है जो हमने इवेंट ऑर्गेनाइज कराया था, प्लस स्पीकर्स का फीडबैक, एंड ओवरऑल हम आपके साथ ही मिलकर यहाँ पे देखते हैं।
बहुत अच्छी कोशिश थी बच्चों की, इन्होंने बहुत अच्छा ऑर्गेनाइज किया इवेंट को, और बहुत स्पीकर्स काफ़ी सारे कॉल किए, बहुत अच्छे वेल नोन लोगों को बुलाया, और अल्लाह इनके स्टार्टअप को बहुत कामयाबियाँ दें।
We are here to celebrate our Women Day specialist. This is the community built by the Rubina, and I'm really happy that she started this initiative here for the Hyderabad.
The tech maker, what the woman tech maker bringing in the today's event, the women empowerment, the things that are basically being covered and being highlighted for only the women, only for the females, is the motto, is a highlighted discussion for today. Me, along with the different other panelists and the other keynote speaker, we have just tried our level best to bring out the best from our youngsters, especially the females.
सो हमारा जो एजेंडा था इनक्रेज करना वुमेन को, डिफरेंट स्पीकर्स जो कि डिफरेंट इंडस्ट्रीज, डिफरेंट टॉपिक से थी, लाइक मैम मारवी मुसद्दिक एंड मैम इस्मा फरहा। डिफरेंट पैनल सेशंस हमने करवाए, उसमें मैम आरफा भुट्टो, शेजाना एंड अतिया बकाई, इन सारी वुमेंस ने जो कि हमारे इवेंट में पार्टिसिपेट करके हमारे इवेंट को एक सक्सेसफुल बनाया, और जो कि आपने अभी हाइलाइट्स में देखा, और पूरा एक ओवरऑल इवेंट जो हमने कैप्चर करके एक नया मोटिव दिया हैदराबाद में लोगों को कि किस तरह से हम आगे बढ़ सकते हैं बीइंग अ वुमेन, किसी भी हर्डल को और चैलेंजेस को फेस करके। So it was overall, this is the panelist session that was arranged in the IWD event, and this was the second panel session. ये है कुछ highlights जो आप, ओवरऑल इम्पैक्ट हमारी कम्युनिटी का जो है पॉजिटिव रहा। बीइंग ए एम्बेसडर, इट वाज अ सक्सेसफुल इवेंट। ये सारा क्रेडिट मैं जो है दूंगी अपनी टीम को, जिन्होंने मेरे साथ मिलके इस इवेंट को सक्सेसफुल बनाया, और यहाँ पे ऑडियंस को एक बहुत अच्छा रिस्पॉन्स मिला। जी अहमद, ये है कुछ रिस्पॉन्सेस जो कि अटेंडीज के तरफ से। बाकी तो आपने जो है स्पीकर्स का फीडबैक भी आपने देख लिया होगा वीडियो में। क्या सहमत?
Yeah, it was really like cool event, I would say. Like the video बड़ी उसकी ना मजेदार थी, और उसके पीछे जो म्यूजिक लगा हुआ था, जिस तरीके से सारा कुछ था, like
उसी
really
में ही
awesome।
सारा
और
कुछ
जैसे
ओवरऑल जो है ना हमने शेयर किया हुआ था, फीडबैक सारा कुछ, ताकि आपको नो हाउ आइडिया हो।
या एग्जैक्टली। और जो स्पीकर, जैसे एक स्पीकर ने भी अंदर कहा कि लाइक जो स्पीकर लाइनअप था, इट वाज रियली इंटरेस्टिंग। लाइक जो हैदराबाद के लोग थे जो काफ़ी वेल नोन थे, वो बुलाए हुए थे। आल्सो द पीपल हु वर इन द एजुकेशनल सेक्टर, वो भी वहाँ पे आए हुए थे। एंड students or like professionals सबने join किया हुआ था. The event was really cool. And I would like to ask like what you are focusing in the future. आप किस तरीके से like इस community को build up करेंगी और about the especially focusing on the women.
नेक्स्ट जो हमारा प्लान है वो है मिड ऑफ द मे से हम स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं बूट कैंप्स जो ऑनलाइन होगी, स्पेशली ऑन मशीन लर्निंग विथ जीसीपी एंड एडब्ल्यूएस और व्हाटएवर द क्लाउड, जो कि हम ट्रेन करेंगे ऑनलाइन. एक सीरीज़ हम कंडक्ट कर रहे हैं जो कि ऑलरेडी हमने प्लान किए हुए, जस्ट एग्जीक्यूट करनी है. इसकी रजिस्ट्रेशन फॉर्म अपने पेज पे भी कर देंगे ऑनलाइन, ताकि सारे जो भी हैं इंटीरियर सिन से हर जगह से रजिस्ट्रेशन हो, और स्पेशली गर्ल्स फोकस करें क्लाउड्स पे अपना एक सर्टिफिकेशंस एंड ऑल दीज थिंग्स ऑन द क्लाउड.
Awesome, awesome. So I would like to ask you, अगर आप chat में share करते हैं अपने like जो पेज का लिंक है, ताकि ऑडियंस फॉलो कर ले वहाँ पे, और जो भी फ्यूचर इवेंट्स उनके बारे में like updates like they can
मैं कर देती
get
हूँ.
it directly. Yeah. So it was like getting started with the events in Hyderabad. Like इससे पहले like कोई इस तरह के major events नहीं होते. So GDG Live had its meetup in January in Hyderabad. उसके बाद ये भी meetup हुआ, and I hope कि इस तरह से जो Google Technologies के या Google Communities के जो meetups हैं ये और ज़्यादा होते रहेंगे वहाँ पे. और yeah, so I'll be sharing the link here जो कि आप ज्वाइन कर सकते हैं जाके.
And especially
Like
in Pakistan, what I have seen is like we don't talk much about women in tech. हम हमेशा ना उसको साइडलाइन कर देते हैं. सो आई मीन दीज थिंग्स आर, दिस इज़ अ वेरी गुड इनिशिएटिव, स्पेसिफिकली जो WTM एम्बेसडर का प्रोग्राम है. सो दिस इज़ अ ग्रेट चांस फॉर एवरीबडी टू कम एंड लर्न सम न्यू स्किल्स. एंड उसके अलावा अगर आप इंट्रोवर्ट हैं तो आप एक्सट्रोवर्ट बन जाएंगे, आपका नेटवर्क बन सकता है. देयर आर लॉट ऑफ
जी
बेनिफिट्स एज वेल. So yeah, so I mean these programs are very much needed, specifically for women in tech. We need to take them along as well.
जी
या जैसे आपने इंट्रोवर्ट की बात की, तो सो आई वाज एन इंट्रोवर्ट 3 years बैक, और लाइक अभी भी मैं हूँ, लेकिन पहले मैं बिल्कुल ही बहुत शाई होता था लाइक पब्लिक स्पीकिंग में. लाइक इवन मैं इवेंट अटेंड करने नहीं जाता होता था. लाइक मैंने अपने रूम में ही रहना और सारा कुछ वहीं से करना है. सो लेकिन लेटर ऑन लाइक आई हैव बीन लीडिंग अ फ्यू कम्युनिटीज, और लाइक उसके बाद लाइक आई हैव बीन टू मल्टीपल लाइक टॉक्स और इस तरीके से. सो लाइक जो कम्युनिटी एक्चुअली ग्रोज, लाइक जैसे जैसे कम्युनिटी ग्रो करती है, जैसे जैसे आप उसका पार्ट बनते हो, योर पर्सनैलिटी ग्रोज एज वेल. So yeah, thank you so much, Robina, for joining us today. We would like to move to our second speaker, who is from Karachi. So we have Samima with us, and she will be talking about her community, her local community in Karachi, actually WTM Karachi, जिसका नाम है. और Samima, if you're here,
Yes.
yeah, hello.
Hello, hi guys. So WTM Gulachi was basically started in 2019. We started in the middle of COVID, right in the middle of COVID. So we started out with like online events, and turned out that we got a pretty good reach on our online events as well. So that gave us a good start. And then as soon as the pandemic kind of became better, we slowly moved on to doing more in-person events. So we kind of collaborated with GDG Kulachi to do like design sprints as part of Dev Fests, and then from then on, we've just picked up our pace from there on.
Awesome, awesome. So if you can present your screen, or you would like to have me present it?
I can present it, yeah.
Okay, okay, sure.
Um, Actually, I think you can present it because I think it's not letting me share my screen.
Okay, so here I go.
वैसे डिज़ाइन स्प्रिंट्स वाज अ ग्रेट आइडिया. आई वुड से आज तक किसी कम्युनिटी ने नहीं करवाया. एंड सिंस वी डोंट हैव मच टू टॉक अबाउट डिज़ाइन स्प्रिंट्स स्पेसिफिकली इन पाकिस्तान, So that was a good step. I mean, we are looking forward to that as well in the future as well. कि लोगों को थोड़ा सा पता लगे कि जी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग स्किल्स क्या होती हैं, डिज़ाइन थिंकिंग अप्रोच क्या होती है, डिज़ाइन स्प्रिंट्स क्या होते हैं. These are very much needed. So yeah, kudos to GDC Kolachi for doing this and WTM Karachi as well.
Yeah, I totally agree, especially because I'm a designer myself. So, like, I know how much design awareness is currently lacking in the country. So, it actually means a lot to me that we started off with design sprints, and I'm like planning to scale this a bit more in the future as well because we definitely do need more people coming into design. I feel like lately what happens is people do a CS degree and they think that the direct path for them would be a software engineer, but like you can actually explore other fields as well, and design would be one of them as well. Okay, so let's begin. So I'm going to be walking through all that WTM Kolachi has worked on so far, how we've grown as a community, and what's more to come for us now. Next slide. Okay, so basically, WTM Kolachi and GDG Kolachi is currently like one big team of like 12 people, and we work together whether that's dev fests, whether that is design sprints, whether that's standalone WTM events. We basically kind of work for all of them. And our most recent achievement would be the fact that we held Dev Fest Karachi in 2022 December, and we had 800 plus attendees, and we also got featured in multiple news channels. So that was like a huge deal for us. Next slide. Okay, so we basically kicked off in the middle of COVID times in 2020. So we started off with online events, and then that ended up in getting 1,000 plus attendees collectively, and that produced roughly like a reach of 4,600 plus in all of our events. So our online events revolved around the topics of public speaking, mental health, managing time during COVID, and also Firebase for lean startups. So it was like a mix of tech and non-tech. Next slide. And last year, we also hosted our flagship event, Blaze. So, Blaze is basically an event focusing on empowering women and bringing together Pakistani individuals who are studying or working in the tech and business sector. We had roughly 300 plus attendees in this event. And I think the thing that stood out in this event was the fact that we introduced Blaze Market to support women led businesses for the first ever time. So we did this with like 7 women led businesses, and it was actually very well received by the community, and they wanted us to continue this in the future as well. So like with Blaze, we always try to somehow incorporate a little bit of the local business side into it as well and somehow incorporate that. Next slide. And then in back in 2021, when things were online, we actually hosted International Women's Day South Asia, where we collaborated with 7 WTM chapters, including WTM Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bangladesh, and we actually hosted it ourselves and collaborated with all of these. So we had talks regarding empowerment. They were like a mix of tech and non-tech talks. We had 2 tracks. There were roughly 32 plus volunteers, and we had like an amazing reach of 3,855 plus views. So it was actually definitely a very memorable event for us because, like, overall, it was very, very well received by everybody who was attending. Next slide. And for this International Women's Day, we basically hosted a nice gathering where women would like come in and network and exchange ideas with one another. The theme was around building resilience, and we invited Ms. Faiza Yusuf to come and give a talk on what resilience means to an individual, how one can inculcate it in their daily lives to set themselves up for success. We received roughly 100 registrations for this one, and then we ended up shortlisting 30 people. Next slide. So Ms. Faiza is basically a founder of multiple women empowering startups like Caterpillars. So she essentially led this session by sharing her story on how she grew up with dyslexia in a family which did not support girls' education, but her father did support her. So she eventually went on to accomplish a lot of things in life and now has founded multiple startups to help other women as well. So it was supposed to be a very motivating session that inspired the attendees to work relentlessly towards pursuing their dreams and sort of build resilience alongside in their journey. Next slide. Okay, so overall, basically, the participants also had an activity where they reflected on what inspired them in their lives, and then they took the time to put those things down. And their sources of inspiration could have been anything ranging from a word, a person, a phrase. Once they had written these down, they exchanged these with other participants. And the idea behind the activity was that we don't know what about ourselves or us might inspire somewhere else. So the exchange of each other's stories was to evoke thought and inspiration. Next slide. And the one before this, yeah. Yeah. So overall, the attendees stayed around to like chat with each other and like take pictures for half an hour longer after the event was over. So the goal of actually getting them to network and talk to each other was fruitful. And the overall feedback that we received was very positive. They wanted more sessions like these to be conducted in the future where they could actually share things about themselves. Next slide. And in the past, we have organized other events such as the Mass Design Sprint 3.0, the one that you guys already know about. This was done by WTM Karachi and GDG Karachi together at DevFest 2022 in December. So the design sprint basically allowed entry-level professionals or like students to solve design problems in the Pakistani startup space. So that would be roughly around fintech and edtech, and it was basically an opportunity for anyone who was new to the field of design to learn how to solve problems in like a hands-on activity-based setting. We collaborated with Daira, which is Venture Dive's community initiative for this. Next slide. So we had roughly 6 mentors and 1 facilitator from Daira on board to guide these groups as the day-long sprint was conducted. And then we also got 3 jury members who were renowned individuals from the design industry on board to judge the participants' solutions. Next slide. So overall, we shortlisted 40 participants for this sprint, and these are just some pictures that showcase how they were working collaboratively throughout the day. So they were basically divided into groups, and the overall space was more of like a collaborative setting rather than a seminar setting. Next slide. And then towards the end of the event, we basically awarded our partners a shield and swag bags alongside declaring our first and second place winners with like prizes of 30K and 20K respectively. Next slide. So what's next for us? Well, after IWD, we've actually got a lot more to do next month in May, as you're going to see soon. Next slide. So this May, we are having Blaze again. We plan to have talks and panel discussions around AI and tech policies that can actually support women, as well as personal stories of women and how they navigated their careers amidst any kind of difficulty that they might have faced. We plan to have 220 attendees, and we're going to be rolling out our registrations form pretty soon. And that would be it.
Yeah, thank you so much for like walking us through your journey of like WTM or जो GD के साथ आप collab करके like you do the event, and the South Asia one was really cool. Like it was COVID, like हर कोई online event करवाना चाहता था, and you came up with a big event, or like you had like really cool speakers there. So also someone said Blaze is a cool name. So yeah, totally agree with Azka here. So thank you so much, Samima, for this introduction and walkthrough from your community. And we look forward to like having more maybe online, and you know the place वहाँ पे लोग join करेंगे. So it would be really cool. So एंड इट इज़ आल्सो कूल कि लोग अभी ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं और थोड़े से लोगों ने हमें ज्वाइन कर लिया. सो थैंक यू सो मच फॉर ज्वाइनिंग एवरीबॉडी. सो वी विल बी मूविंग फॉरवर्ड विथ आवर नेक्स्ट स्पीकर. सो वी हैव हाईलाइट फ्रॉम लाइक अभी तक हमने लाइक हैदराबाद को देख लिया, कराची को देख लिया, बट व्हाट अबाउट यू नो अदर सिटीज़ लाइक इस्लामाबाद और उसके अलावा लाहौर, उनके बारे में क्या ख्याल है? सो वी हैव समवन and like Sarwat Rizvi from Islamabad. She will be talking about the WTM and GDG events which have been happening in the past, और उसके अलावा जो like recently अभी इनका एक event हुआ था IWD के related, and it was on the news, like हर जगह पे उसकी like नजर आ रही है, जो जिस जगह पे भी आप खोल के देख लो सोशल मीडिया पे like उनका आर्टिकल कोई ना कोई आया हुआ है. So yeah, सरवत, हेलो, अस्सलाम वालेकुम.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम अहमद, क्या हाल है आपके?
ठीक ठाक, आप सुनाएं कैसे जा रहा है सब कुछ, रमज़ान कैसे जा रहा है?
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, अब तो गुजर गया है, बट या इट वेंट वेल. आपका कैसा गया?
Yeah. So it actually went well. So I was focusing on staying home this time. So my goal was achieved.
I am glad to hear that.
Yeah. So we would love to know about, Islamabad highlights. So will you be sharing the screen or should I continue?
Let me share my screen.
Yeah. So जब तक स्क्रीन शेयर करती हैं and सरवत, so let's share WTM
जी.
Karachi's pages. So here
मेरी
we have,
screen I hope visible है इस वक्त.
yeah, let me add it to the stream. So yeah, you may continue.
Right, assalamu alaikum everyone who's joined the stream. So I'm Sarwat Rizvi. I'm the co-manager for Google Development Islamabad and the WomenTechmakers ambassador. I'll be sharing a few highlights as रहा है, किस तरह से रहा है मेरी थोड़ी बहुत जर्नी अभी तक कैसी रही है, and what you would be expecting from us in the future. So the 2014 was the first time we hosted a WTM session. I wasn't a part of the community at that time, but that was the very first session hosted in Islamabad. Moving forward to 2017, another WTM Women Tech Maker session was hosted, this time International Women's Day. We all joined the community after 2018, and in 2019, we actually put a dent. We hosted a big International Women's Day conference, which got recognized by the global team. I'll be walking you through all of these things to give a few, to give a brief overview. तो basically, जैसे मुझसे पहले भी बात हुई कि Google Developers Group Islamabad bhi, in addition to Women Tech Maker Islamabad, is a sister community to Google Developers Group Islamabad. Since I'm a part of both the communities, in collaboration होते हैं. तो be it Dev Fest, be it WTM session, Digital Smooths, IO Extended, Code Labs, whatever it may be, they're all in collaboration. So 2019, when we hosted our Dev Fest, it was one of the biggest in the region. 1,200 plus attendees, best amazing sort of response from the audience, and got recognized. So Women Tech Makers 2019 was hosted at. This was sort of the first big Women Tech Makers that the Islamabad community hosted, but at the same time. And then again, the Women Tech Makers 2019 reception was something that that everyone enjoyed, and that everyone really highly participated. Then DevFest 2021 kicked in, and we conducted a Women's Safety Hackathon. We got featured by Google Global News for that. So the Women's Safety Hackathon in 2021 was in collaboration with Mobiling Microfinance Bank, and it was an amazing response. And sab karwa liya tha, lekin when the recognition kicked in, we were like, acha, we knew something big had happened, but when it kicked in, we were like, okay, we did put it in. So we have had COVID, maybe we went online, we conducted online events, and then we came back in 2022. 2022 की conference रही, we regained our audience. Then 2023 की conference आई. So I was affiliated with the community for अभी 2023 निकाल के for like 2 to 3 years, 3 years at max, right? And I became an ambassador. पहले मैं as a volunteer affiliated थी, and then I became an ambassador in 2022. November. Before that, I was a volunteer. I was there in all the events. I was a part of the planning. I was a part of the process. And when I became the ambassador, I realized that we have been working so much towards, creating a safer ecosystem for women, creating a safer tech ecosystem for women, addressing all the issues that the tech ecosystem has or the non-tech ecosystem has, trying to provide solution to all the problems through multiple different sorts of sessions, be it design thinking, be it design sprint, be it code labs, be it workshops, be it technical session, non-technical sessions, creative soft skills, be it all of these things, right? लेकिन हम लोग कोशिश ये करें कि एक ecosystem more accepting हो जाए towards women in the industry. Now that problem stands. That problem still stands. Although हम सब communities जो इस वक्त यहाँ हैं, उन सब ने अपना अपना part इस चीज़ में play किया है. In all communities, I'm so proud to say कि because of this impact, हर community के अपने impact की वजह से इस वक्त इतना बड़ा impact हो गया है कि maybe थोड़ा बहुत वो चीज़ solution provide हो रहा है. कुछ हद तक we are trying to provide solutions, and at least it's talked about, right? But when I was planning for Women Tech Makers 2023. I realized that हम लोग बात तो कर रहे हैं कि women in tech is unicorn की term use होती है. I think all the techies are right now in the chat or the techies in the session would know कि female जो आपके पास techies होती हैं in the industry who are technically sound, who have all the necessary skills, they're considered unicorns. That's how rare they are, right? So ये चीज स्टिल स्टैंड कर रही है. बट 2019 में जैसे मैंने अभी आपको दिखाया, वी होस्टेड women technique did an intersex speaker at the breakfast, and that was the first time that happened in the community. उससे पहले हम डिस्कस तो कर रहे थे, लेकिन we brought in a speaker. We had done that before. I was there, I witnessed it, I saw it. And while planning for this event, I thought the theme around this was, by the way, dare to be. There were many things. You could dare to be bold, brave, resilient. I took the theme as I wanted to myself. I wanted the theme to tell the people need to be dare to be yourself. एक दफा you dare to be with it. Uske baad you can be brave, bold, and resilient because nothing can stop you. So we took the theme as is, and we talk about
I guess सर्वर का इंटरनेट कनेक्शन लूज हो गया, so we will just wait for her for a few
to provide
minutes now.
excuse me, a safer space to all kinds of people, and not just sorry, Ahmed, are you saying something?
Yeah, you lost your internet connection, I guess. तो वो स्क्रीन भी प्रेजेंट नहीं हो रही इस टाइम पे. Please check that.
Oh, okay. Is it visible?
No. Yeah, it is now visible.
Let me de-share बल्कि. Is it visible?
I guess it is taking some time.
I hope
Yeah,
it's
it is
visible,
visible
right?
now. Yeah, yeah.
Perfect, perfect. So, okay, sorry guys for the glitches. Online events tend to make these things happen. So we were talking about inclusivity and we're talking about diversity. So we wanted to showcase that. It's as simple as that. So we did collaborate with a number of organizations, and I'm proud to say, we hosted one of the most inclusive, the most diverse events um, that have been hosted at a community level. That was the response from the audience. That was the response from the speakers. That was what we saw coming together in harmony. So this was the WomenTechmakers 2019, happened 2023. I'm very sorry, happened on 11th March. NIC in NIC National Incubation Center. We had industry specialists for our panel discussions. Some of the biggest names: Aisha Sarvari, Rida Zainab, Saima Kamar, Senior Jazz, and we hosted an I'm Remarkable workshop as well as part of the event, which brought in a BBC, an award-winning BBC broadcaster, Saima Ajram, and that was a session that everyone I'd say not only attended but could relate to, could take something away from. These are a few highlights from the event. You can see the happy faces. All the community builders right now in the chat in the session know, okay, when the attendees are happy, seeing happy faces at the end of an event is what we actually host the event for. So the impact, we knew we had done something big. We knew we had put the dent. We were finally thinking to, we were talking about, everyone was talking about, we're finally able to do that. But जब एक हफ्ते बाद प्रेस रिलीजेस आई और इवेंट कवरेज की न्यूज़ आई, so we were blown away by the response, by the coverage we had gotten. This is just a few. These are like a few to name, right? 10 newspapers and 20 blogs. I could not cater all of these here, but Business Recorder, CNN Urdu, Daily Times, the news, we were everywhere by Sunday. And it was as if मतलब हमें फल मिल गया था अपनी अपनी इतनी effort का by the end of the event, when we saw the happy audience and we heard the audience response. लेकिन when we saw this everywhere on Sunday, it was truly a sight to see. So this was a little about Women Techmakers Islamabad. For our future events, we have design thinking workshops in collaboration with multiple companies, I'm Remarkable sessions, technical, non-technical workshops and sessions, speak your heart out sessions in store for the audience. They're still in the process of planning, so please stay tuned to our social media pages. And we'll soon open the registrations. You can register us there. If you wish to reach out to us, we have our LinkedIn, our Facebook, our Instagram, our Twitter. Feel free to reach out to us there. We are a very open community. We love the people getting back to us. Feel free to reach out to us in case of any queries, questions, any suggestions you have regarding the community. And yeah, I think that's about it. Thank you.
So like thank you so much for like sharing the insights और जो सारे highlights थी events की. So like it was really good कि 2019 में क्या कुछ आपने किया, like it hosted a big event and then this event like literally was on the news, हर जगह पे यही नजर आ रहा था. So like congratulations to you and your team on this achieving this like big goal. So yeah, thank you so much for joining us in today's stream. So it was really good to have you.
It was a
So
pleasure being here as well, Ahmed.
yeah, thank you. So you guys might be wondering about कि आगे जो है लाइक ये जो सारे इवेंट्स थे ये हो गए हैं यार, और उसके अलावा कोई ऐसा इवेंट बचा है जो हमने लाइक अटेंड नहीं किया और वी कैन अटेंड दैट. सो आई हैव अ गुड न्यूज़ फॉर यू फॉक्स के यू वी हैव अ फ्यू इवेंट्स जो कि ईद के बाद होने जा रहे हैं. जैसे WTM कराची का ब्लेज होने जा रहा है, यू कैन अटेंड दैट इन मे. We have some other chapters hosting WTM events specifically for women in April, end of April or in May. So we have Ramsha Siddiqui with us from WTM Lahore. She will be sharing the preview of Lahore community, जो कुछ like the women community Lahore जो है वो सारा कुछ कर रही है पिछले कुछ अरसे से. और जो इनका इवेंट है वो किस तरह का होने जा रहा है, लाइक दे हैव रियली कूल डिजाइन, लाइक यू वुड लाइक love to see that. So I'm adding your presentation to the stream, Ramsha. Hello.
Right.
Assalamu alaikum.
Bye, Kasam. How are you, Ahmed?
I'm good. How are you, Ramsha? So what's been happening in Ramzan about the planning of this big event?
A lot's been happening. Actually, Ramzan se pehle, I think March se chal rahi hai preparation of gathering attendees, gathering the panel of women that we want to highlight for each Google Tech domain, and finding non-technical speakers and finding sponsors, and the whole event planning normalness. So during Ramadan, it was a lot of registrations, a lot of processing the registrations, and then connecting them with the mentors on one-on-one threads. So अभी भी काम जारी है, mentorships चल रही हैं साथ साथ, और event day पे इंशाल्लाह there will be a lot of positive outcomes to all our efforts.
Yeah, awesome. Really look forward to like जो भी सारे कुछ अभी आप share करेंगे about the event, like it would be amazing. Yeah. So stage is yours.
All right, thanks. Hello, everyone. This is Ramsha Siddiqui. I am the WomenTechmakers Lahore ambassador. I also have a co-ambassador named Minahil Kaleem. She joined us this year. I don't think she's in the stream, but yeah, this event is co-organized by the both of us. So the WomenTechmakers Lahore community started back in, I think, 2019, start of 2019. I had just been a Women Tech Makers scholarship graduate back in 2018, and I thought it was a great initiative. I didn't know कि like GDGs or like WTM chapters भी हैं or like events वगैरह भी होते हैं, because the scholarships are not really about that. They're really just about providing us with like the right resources to continue on our tech journey. But when I came here and I heard about like IWDs हो रहे हैं by WTM in different countries, I didn't even know कि पाकिस्तान के थे और भी chapters है. So I just thought कि hey, maybe मैं लाहौर में भी करा सकती हूँ. So I reached out to like the GDG chapter here, and Haris Nadeem was very helpful in that regard, and he quickly brought me in, with Saad Hamid and all of the other resources which he had for WTM for me. And then we organized the event, and then quickly after I became the ambassador, ekdam se chapter khul gaya. So we've been doing events since then, and this would be, I think, our fourth International Women's Day celebration. So pretty excited about it. Let me share what it's all about. Again, like WTM Lahore has been doing events for a lot of years now. Let us know in the comments if you've attended any of our events. Last year, for example, we had the Women's Online Safety Hackathon at Q Cinemas. And then we had our IWD at Dahlia. And those were both very specific events about, the progress of women in Pakistan in like different sectors like education or work, or the online safety starts of women in Pakistan, specifically Lahore, presented by the Digital Rights Foundation. So let me know if you've ever joined any of our events or are joining our IWD this year. So let me talk about what the designs are for and what the theme is based off of and what Hina Matsuri is. So Hina Matsuri is the Japanese word for Japanese Girls' Day. It is a really old tradition in Japan where they would celebrate Women's Day or Girls' Day by creating this tower of dolls. So they have these really old vintage dolls made in their culture, and they're passed down generation by generation, to like grandmother to mother to like daughter to granddaughter. And that's why those dolls are more like collectibles of families. And they create these huge towers every year to kind of celebrate women and like show the importance of like their daughters, their sisters, their wives, women in any capacity, globally or publicly in a display. और इसकी पुरानी हिस्ट्री ये थी कि in the past they would like kind of structure this tower by placing the most important women at the top of the tower, so like empresses or really high priestesses and stuff. Or it would gradually grow, go down by positions, and then ultimately bilkul end ke upar it would be, working women, or just in general, housewives, or maybe women of lower ranked jobs. But that our event is about inclusivity, right? It's about community. So we don't want that representation of Hina Matsuri anymore. So in our event, our representation of this tower places you at the top of the tower. And you're surrounded by your friends and family first, right? Your loved ones who provide you with support and guidance and love and maybe other resources that help you succeed in your life. Followed that, by your relatives or like your siblings or your close friends, and then finally by the community of women that you come in interaction with every day, such as the Women Tech Makers community. I know, working in tech firms, for the past 4 years, that there's very few women that you get to work with, like especially if you are like a developer, female developer. I don't know, maybe Karachi, Islamabad में ज़्यादा बेहतर हालात हो, लेकिन लाहौर के अंदर at least I used to be like the single girl in my team at my last company's job, out of 30 guys. So it was inclusive a little bit. I mean, they did include me in their activities, but at the same time, it was also very separate and different. Like I felt weird. And there would be instances where it would be like, I don't belong here. So that would feel very lonely. And doing these sorts of events where I get to meet another developer even, or another ML engineer is very exciting for me, and it really helps me get through my job. Even in my job right now, it's still the same. Very few female developers, a lot of male developers. So using this network of women around you, you get to reach at the top of the tower, right? So you use the power of women, the power of them being able to support you, of them just being themselves, right? And taking inspiration from that helps you dare to be every day, right? So we had like our top three, like what do you dare to be images as well, dare to be encouraging, right? That is being at the bottom of the tower where you're promoting women above you. Dare to be embracing means, to be accepting of all sorts of women, of all sorts of progress, of all sorts of positions that they may have. And then dare to be creative is, be the top of the line, beat everyone, and like, yeah, reach the goal. So what is the agenda of our event? Well, we have 4 sessions, which are talks. The first one is WTM Tell Your Story. So this is a workshop by Google, which was given out, I think, end of last year, which is meant to enable you to tell your story in a better way, as well as listen to like someone else's story and get inspired from it. So this is a little about personal branding, a little about how to tell your story, and a little about, yeah, listening other people's story and taking inspiration from it. The second talk is called the Gender Equity Workshop, or in full form, facilitating conversations for gender equity in tech. This workshop allows you to envision a world where there wasn't any gender-based bias, where there was gender equality all over professions, all over educations. So in that world, you'd wanna imagine like, what does it feel like, how does it sound like, what does it smell like, what's different. So yeah, it really encourages like our participants to think of, is there any hurdles in the past or that you're feeling right now, that you maybe face in your educational institutions or in your work organizations, that you won't feel anymore agar suddenly har jagah equality ho jaye. Then we also kind of dig deep into what are other forms of biasness or prejudices that may still exist, right? So maybe religious differences, maybe racial differences. So we kind of dig deeper into that. That is solving gender equality the end of like all sorts of biases? No, right? So yeah, that's what the workshop is all about. After that, we have an AI Adventures workshop. This again is a Google developers YouTube series turned into a workshop, which allows anyone working in any tech domain to enter into AI. इस साल आई थिंक पिछले साल के एंड से GPT-3, GPT-4, चैट GPT, बार्ड बहुत रश पड़ गया है of generative AI and large language models. and everyone is making like some sort of an app, like a mobile app or a website, immediately. And they're trying to like come up with innovation and make it quick. So how can you as a developer also kind of follow that trend but use your own creativity to create something with AI, right? So use your skills as a developer and integrate AI into it. Or if you're an AI person attending this event, how can you integrate or use other technologies to help your models like showcase better? Finally, we have demos of really cool AI projects in AI Demo Derby. This is presented by Fariha from Formulatrix, and she's going to demo one of her own projects, which is very cool and is something that could have solved COVID a lot faster. So definitely wait for this demo, as well as two other cool AI projects. Following that, we have our mentor circles, जिसका basically सारा हमारा शोर है of this event. So we were thinking about making this event like super tech. Previously, हमने जब भी events किए हैं, they're more non-technical. I mean, we do add one or two tech sessions, but we're never able to gather like a huge audience of women in one tech domain, right? Because है ही नहीं जो बात है किसी भी टेक डोमेन के अंदर एटलीस्ट लाहौर में बहुत ज़्यादा लड़कियां नहीं है. This year, Google came up with two different mentorship workshops or mentorship trainings. Mentorship 101, how to be a mentor, and Mentorship 201, advancing your mentor skill set. With this, what we were supposed to do is train people of like high expertise in any technical or non-technical domain, and allow them to be mentors for our IWDs. So we took that idea and we took those instructions for planning our IWD, and we planned, okay, हमने सारी Google Tech के अंदर at least एक female mentor ज़रूर लेके आनी है of like super high expertise, and then also offer some non-technical mentors. So that's what we did. We've invited Aksa Kausar, Sakina Abbas, and Maryam Aslam. These are all GDEs. They're not from Lahore, but they were so kind enough to like agree to come to our event. And yeah, they are going to be at the event, and they're going to be mentoring for TensorFlow, Flutter, and Firebase. We also have really high skilled mentors for Google Cloud, Angular, Android, cybersecurity, and UI UX design. Apart from that, we have mentors for technical writing, which includes like resumes and stuff, communication skills like interviews or like public speaking, and career counseling, which is like finding what's best for your career if you're an early developer, or switching careers like later on in your life. So yeah, I want to talk about what is there for you as a mentee, or what is there for you if you want to be a mentor next year. There's like a group of skills जो दोनों तरह के लोग possess करते हैं. So as a mentor, I know that you have capability. You have a lot of knowledge, and you have the ability of sharing that knowledge with other people, as well as giving them feedback, giving them advice, and like opening doors for them. But you also have to look at the mentee who has some specific skills that they get to offer you as a mentor. So mentees have the ability of accepting advice. As professionals, हमारे लिए I think बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है at some stage in life to even ask for help or ask for advice, and then even harder to accept someone's advice, right? So mentees are coming in knowing that they have flaws, knowing that they need improvement, and then asking for it, and then accepting advice. That is something that is very precious, and definitely something to learn from. So yeah, it's like a group network जहाँ पे mentor भी benefit कर रहे हैं, और of course mentees भी benefit कर रहे हैं. So talking about what has happened so far, we had a lot of mentorships, like mentorship requests, like 800 plus or 850 plus to be specific. And we took a lot of time to like go through those requests. ये वाली request इतनी लंबी नहीं है, this is too generic, इसने ऐसा कुछ नहीं लिखा हुआ, या इसने कोई ऐसी domain के बारे में सवाल पूछ लिया in which the mentor is not highly skilled in. So वो सारे हमने reject करके, these are like the final starts of people that were accepted. In each mentorship deck, we also had to divide them on like किस तरह के सवाल पूछ रहे हैं. So are they like, अभी उन्होंने अपना career develop करना है, so they're like early stage professionals who just want to know किस tech domain के अंदर क्या है, or are they looking for project feedback, or इंडस्ट्री के अंदर क्या चल रहा है, इस तरह की कोई इंसाइट जानना चाह रहे हैं, या दे आर लाइक सुपर स्किल्ड और वो ग्रोथ के बारे में सवाल करना चाह रहे हैं. So question like that, we divided them, and we have started one-on-one email threads with mentors and mentees as well. So that is an ongoing process. If you register now, your email thread might start a little bit later than the ones that are already in progress, but I think that will still be doable if you just submit your application in time. Yeah, we asked our audience on how they dare to be, and they wrote like whole paragraphs of what they're doing in life and how they're daring to be every day. Some of them that I read, I was actually inspired like a lot. Like, these people are way more skilled and way more, up in life than me, and they're still looking to come to the event. And like, yeah, it's such an honor to have you guys. So we made like a word cloud, used our data analytics skills to showcase like what sorts of dare to be words did we find in our registrations. And yeah, we're just calling for participation still. I know कि हमने already बता दिया है कि number बहुत ज़्यादा था लोगों का, but if there's someone who's like super skilled or has like a really specific project feedback question, I think we still want to facilitate some people, yeah, that might still need mentoring. So our requests are still open till Eid, like Eid की छुट्टियों से पहले पहले तक. उसके बाद हमारे registration link बिल्कुल बंद हो जाएगा. So if you register before Eid, we can still look into it. We might still have 3 days to continue like the one-on-one threads with you guys. Yeah, if you register till Eid. But after that, yeah, it would be closed. Yeah, these are some of the. Oh, actually, this is just our picture, just like the team picture. I have nothing to explain there. But this is something that we're giving at the event. Also, in the last picture, we're giving Google Tech giveaways. We're also giving self-care boxes to our attendees because आजकल बहुत मुश्किल हालात चल रहे हैं, I think, for students who have to find jobs, knowing कि ChatGPT उनकी बहुत सारी jobs करने में अब skill हो चुका है. Like, yeah, when you're a fresh graduate, you have to learn like very basic things like, data science कैसे use करनी है, so how to create, graphs or charts and stuff. And now ChatGPT can do basically all of that. So yeah, there's a lot of loss of skills, but at the same time, there's also a lot of speed up of skills. You don't need to spend or waste time on basic things like हम लोग पहले debugging में बहुत time लगाते थे. Now you can do that really fast. But yeah, still it is stressful looking for jobs, and those who are at jobs, they're worrying about losing them or worrying about upskilling them. So there is very little time to take care of yourself in that. So yeah, we've prepared some self-care boxes for you to just relax for a day, put on a steam eye mask and like light a scented candle, read some fortune, make some Japanese tea, have some fun. And finally, a special thanks to all of our partners who have helped us, spread the word or are helping us with monetary or logistics or any other sort of sponsorship. I'd also like to thank like the GDG and WTM leads who helped with preparing this session with us. It was very last minute and like a really difficult sort of a request, but they were more than accommodating for it. So thank you guys, and that's it from my side.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ramsha, for sharing the insights. It was really like good to know कि क्या कुछ आप कर रही हैं और like really जो एक mentorship वाला जो I would say initiative है, especially for women, it was really needed. Like there are a lot of women who don't think कि कौन से ये like fields हैं they can be part of, or like as you said कि बहुत generic requests भी आई थी, तो you had to shortlist like few people जिनकी वाकई actually कुछ ऐसी requests थी जो कि was concerns about few technologies. So like really good to know about like it happening in Lahore on 29th of April. Yeah, I really encourage everyone to join. I would like to join as well. लेकिन उसका ये है कि हमारा GTG Live Pakistan and उनका भी like we have an event on 29th as well. So we didn't know before कि like event हो रहा है लाहौर में, so we might have managed a little bit. लेकिन yeah. So thank you so much, Ramsha, for joining in today. So bye. So I would like to continue with the next, like अभी Lahore का discuss हो गया. We have discussed Islamabad, we have discussed Karachi, we have discussed Hyderabad. So अब कुछ ऐसे लोग होंगे वो कहेंगे यार मैं तो मुल्तान में हूँ I'm in Bahawalpur, I'm in Koita, like कुछ ऐसे cities जहाँ पे इस तरह के events नहीं हो पाते. So you don't need to worry about that. So we got you covered, like GTG Live got you covered. So we have WTM event happening on 29th. For that, Ghania, we have Ghania joined us today. So I'll add her to the stream. So she's a co-organizer of GTG Live Pakistan, and she recently became WTM ambassador as well. So we had a few events about women, or like we hosted a women speakers in the past, those speaker sessions is specifically for women. Like for from now on, like there will be more events, there will be like bigger events for women in tech. So hello Hania, assalamu alaikum.
Hello, Assalamualaikum, Ahmed. How are you? Hello, can you hear me?
Vanya, are you here?
Hello?
I think, yeah.
Can you hear me now? I think there might be an issue on Ahmed's end. Okay, so I'm going to continue regardless. So I'll talk, I think Ahmed gave a brief introduction already. So I'll start by introducing myself again. My name is Ghania Manover. I am co-manager alongside Ahmed for GG Live Pakistan, and I also recently became WTM ambassador. So as Ahmed already mentioned, we have been doing a lot of events, including the Fest and IO and multiple other events, but our first WTM event will be on 29th of April, but we'll come to that later. If we can start by talking a little bit about GTG. So, Emily, if you can move to the next slide, yes. Okay. So GTG Live Pakistan is globally, as start by telling you, is one of the only chapters that is representative of an entire country. बाकी जो भी हमारे chapters होते हैं, they normally represent a city, not an entire country. So in that way, we have achieved a lot. So our team essentially came together around 2 years ago. It was during the pandemic that we came together. And I think it was a time, this time a lot of people didn't have the opportunity to step outside and go and attend these events. So उस time our platform was a great opportunity for people to come online and have this opportunity to attend all of these events. So that was essentially when we came together, and तब से we've achieved a lot. We have a team of 11 people now. We have Fawad as our manager, me and Ahmed working as co-managers, and then we have a core team of 8 people. So similar to the other chapters, हमारा WTM or GTG का chapter is working hand in hand. So our entire team works for both the chapters together. Then moving on, if I can talk about a little bit of our events. So over the past 2 years, हमारी जो community है, we have developed a community of 18,000 people online, and it's been quite amazing. हमारी जो community है, it's been on a lot of different platforms, so that includes Slack, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, everything. And if you can also drop a link in the chat, that would be great. You guys should also follow us on all of our different platforms, just to keep updated with all the events that we're doing and what we have coming up in the future. Maybe we have some very exciting things coming. So we have hosted a total of 50 plus virtual events. जिसमें DevFest, IO, इन सब events के साथ साथ भी have also hosted some very non-technical events. Just as say one of our staple events was Chai Hour, which I think a lot of you might already know about. People enjoyed it a lot. So Chai Hour is an event that we have, which is basically focused on having a chit chat session with Pakistani Googlers, how they've come to where they are, their struggles, or generally the work they're doing right now, etc. etc. But that is one of our staple events. Apart from that, हमारा जो एक main event है that has our flagship event that has been DevFest, and that has grown over the past 2 years a lot. So we held two different DevFests. So the first DevFest that we held was in 2021, and it was a 3-day long conference. It was a completely online event. We had 9+ hours of content, and it was a huge success. We got an amazing response from people. You can see some of our stats over here. So we had 960 registrations, 450 attendees, 25 speakers, 13 sessions. So overall the session was amazing. Amazing. मतलब हमारे technical events में भी थे इसमें, और non-technical sessions भी थे, design thinking पे भी थे. Apart from that, we gave some startups the opportunity to come forward and pitch their ideas to potential investors, and they learned a lot from it, and they got this opportunity that they could talk about what they're doing, the work they're doing. So they also benefited from a lot. Then moving on, in 2022, we basically got the demand from a lot of our attendees for physical events. A lot of people reached out to us for a physical presence. So people were saying कि आप हमारी टीम में भी आएँ, आप आके इधर भी event कराएं, हम आपको venue वगैरह सब provide करेंगे. So उससे we got the idea कि we should also sort of create a presence in these other cities जहाँ पे हमारे already GDG chapters established नहीं है. Because जो बाकी cities हैं जहाँ पे GDG chapters established हैं, people do get the opportunity to go and attend these events. पर बाकी cities में we do have, like, obviously we have this opportunity and platform जहाँ पे लोग online attend कर सकते हैं, but एक physical जो event होता है उसकी भी need we felt like was required. So we had one online conference, and that was followed up by 3 different meetups that we did. So we did 3 meetups in Multan, Hyderabad, and Mardan. They were small sessions for a few hours with 2 to 3 panels, but they were a huge success. And we learned there was a huge need for this, and a lot of people weren't actually aware even of GDG and WTM programs. So when they attended these small meetup sessions, they then got to know about it. So that was again adding up to हमारा जो primary goal है पूरे chapter का, which is to reach out and be accessible all over Pakistan. So this is something we might be taking forward in the future as well. We might be hosting more meetups. So again, you should follow up on our pages and keep up to date. Also, you should come and visit us if we do have some meetups in your cities. If you want us to visit your city, you should also definitely let us know. We'll keep that in mind for our future events. Moving forward, so what's next for us? So as I mentioned before, we will be hosting our first WTM event for our IWD, and it is based on the theme Dare to Be. Next slide. So our event this year is called Her Story, an Inspiring Insight, and it is a very non-technical event. So we will be hosting multiple insightful talks about stories of women in the tech ecosystem of Pakistan. I think, as Amsha already mentioned, there is this huge gender disparity that exists in the entire tech ecosystem, and women are we feel like one of the main reasons for that is that women are scared to step forward in a very main dominant field, right? So to sort of overcome that, you need role models and you need people to look forward to. You want to listen to how they have come to the point where they are, how they've achieved the things that they have achieved. And for that, like, what better way there is for that than to through motivational talks. So we have a great lineup of speakers, which we will be announcing soon. So you should stay up to date with our social media pages. And alongside that, we will also be having some workshops on topics such as women's online safety. And we also have a panel lined up with amazing discussion with some very inspiring people to talk about how how they are working in the community, how they are working to empower women, any advice they have. We'll also be taking multiple questions from the audience to talk to the panel directly if they have any queries on how they can become part of the community. We do also have some keynote speakers coming, and they will be talking both about GDG chapter as well as the entire WTM program to tell you how you can become a part of the WTM program yourself and what WTM essentially does all over the world and the impact it's created. So it would be amazing if you guys follow up and do register for the event. It will be a great event. Can't wait to host the event and have all of you join us. Apart from that, thank you for attending the session today. Do follow us on all of our social media accounts and other platforms. I think Emily can take it from there.
या थैंक यू सो मच गानिया फॉर शेयरिंग जो लाइक हमने पास्ट में किया और लाइक द इवेंट्स लाइक डेफ फेस्ट एंड गूगल आयो लाइक इट वाज लाइक मैसिव सक्सेस आई वुड से सो उसके अलावा जो अभी जो इवेंट हो रहा है आई वुड ऐड ऑन टू दैट लाइक वी हैव अमेजिंग लाइनअप ऑफ स्पीकर्स वी हैव लाइक सम फेमस टेकीज जो हैं वो दे विल बी ज्वाइनिंग अस इन दैट इवेंट और उसके अलावा लाइक देयर विल बी सम वर्कशॉप्स सो मेक श्योर यू अटेंड दैट and for like now I would like to like thank all of the like speakers WM ambassadors who joined us today. So I would like to add all of them to the stream right now, so we also take a quick selfie and also answer a few questions from the audience if we have. So here we go. Okay, so if we have any few questions for the audience, like ज़्यादा questions तो नहीं लेंगे हम और like इतनी ज़्यादा audience भी नहीं है कि like we are bombarded with the questions. So if you have any questions about the event, like anything, let's just ask the speakers. Otherwise I would also like to ask the speakers कि अगर कोई खुद से कुछ suggestion share करना चाहे, कुछ insight share करना चाहे specifically for the women here who have joined us today. So if anyone can take on the mic.
I would say attend our events. You learn a lot from them. We have two amazing IWD events coming up, so should definitely be a part of that. To begin with,
+1.
Yeah. So उसके अलावा like कराची वाला जो इवेंट हो रहा है also attend that in May. उसके बारे में like थोड़ी सी डिटेल्स अभी like they have put it on social media, लेकिन उसके अलावा जो बाकी डिटेल्स हैं they will be sharing like in a few days. उसके अलावा we have one question. So it is from Azka Ahmed, like how can we go on to integrate such initiatives within our own university campuses?
So I think celebration of IWDs, if you want, you can ask the GDSC chapters in your universities. If not, talk to your university administration in general. This is something that if you have a tech university, you can definitely plan with any tech societies like IEEE, or I don't really know about other tech societies in other universities, but I will mention that this year SoftTech is an event that FAST does for like final year project displays, and they also have panel discussions, like a 3-day event. So we did partner with them, and we're going to do like a small talk on their SoftTech as well, about the event and also about all that we have to offer with our community. That's not exactly doing this event with them, but that's still the answer that I would give.
Yeah. So I would also like to add something like GDSC के हिसाब से like it would be like good. और उसके अलावा बाकी जो हैं like we have many like GDSC chapters in different universities now. Like we have around 70 to 80 chapters all over the Pakistan. So I think GDSC has like a lot of presence, in different universities. Like in also in areas जहाँ पे like कुछ और communities नहीं हैं, there is a GDSE chapter. So you can reach out in those universities or those chapters. अगर कोई और like यहाँ पे लोग हैं like besides इसका, so they can like reach out to those, and yeah, I'm sure कि इस तरह कोई ना कोई event को plan कर सकते हैं and in the future as well. So if we have any other question, otherwise it's also time, it's getting late a bit, or like we'll like to wind up. So I would like to ask, maybe we can do this, or we can make WTM sign. I don't know what's that.
Ahmed, I would just like to add one thing to the chat
Yeah.
that you were answering. जो अभी question हुआ था regarding how you can integrate such chapters in your universities. So there are Pakistani women in computing की भी एक community है. Although the community is not as active within universities, आप उनके जिस तरह GDSC within campuses create होती हैं, societies GDSCs की communities create होती हैं, उसी तरह आप अपनी university में भी अगर इसका initiative नहीं है तो you can launch an initiative and उसी तरह की community create कर सकते हैं. This can help you since global community के साथ then you can connect and through that you can bring in some speakers and जिस तरह GDSCs अपने events करवाते हैं, GDGs अपने events करवाते हैं, then you can conduct such events in the same I'd say in the same spirit.
Yeah, I would agree on that. So that like women in tech और जो इस तरह के और भी different I guess communities हैं पाकिस्तान में, जो कि especially working for women who code, I guess इस तरह की भी एक कोई है community. So you can specifically reach out to those communities, और वो भी like they would be happy to help you. So yeah, let's thank everyone here who joined us today, and also the amazing WTM ambassadors we have in Pakistan. Thank you so much for joining in today. Let's take a quick selfie. And मैं क्योंकि screenshot ले रहा हूँ तो you can make the WTM sign and I will be just like this.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, this.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining in today. So see you in the event, our like her story जो कि 29th अप्रैल को है. Also join WTM Lahore's event, जो फॉर्म है वो फिल करें ASAP ताकि आप उसको ज्वाइन कर सकें and get a chance to get mentorship from different great mentors. So thank you so much everyone for joining in today. So we'll be ending the stream right now. Okay, take care. Allah Hafiz.
Thank you. Allah Hafiz.